What would you do if World War III started tomorrow? I personally would probably hide in this fridge.
Intro Brandon would be cooked. But to truly answer that question, I've spent the last few weeks contacting every single nuclear missile base near me and asked if I could set up a realistic World War III simulation in their base. And to my surprise, one actually said yes. So 2 weeks later, I headed 3 hours to an undisclosed location where I would spend the next 50 hours perfectly simulating World War III with the goal of creating a doomsday plan. Because mine right now looks like this. I'm in Wilson, Kansas right now, the closest nuclear bunker to where I live in Wichita. And this nuclear bunker is nice. It's not any Mr. Beast nuclear bunker.
I just built this bunker.
It's an actual nuclear bunker. Now, before the timer started, I did take a tour of the bunker and met the owner of the missile silo. More on him later, but the first thing I did when I got to the bunker was set up a bunch of these security cameras because unlike every other YouTuber on the planet, this World War III video is going to be accurate, which means we're sticking to security cameras for the remainder of the video. Now, if I'm living in this bunker indefinitely, I need to be able to do my normal daily routine, which means eating, sleeping, working out, getting my daily 10,000 steps in. Basically anything that I do in real life, I need to be able to do in this bunker right here. So with hour one started, let's get the day started by cooking some breakfast. Which brings me to meal number one.
Okay, now I have 2 days worth of military grade MREs.
If you don't know what an MRE is, it stands for meal ready to eat. It's basically what soldiers eat on the battlefield, and also what I'm going to be eating throughout these 50 hours.
I don't have much battery life, so we're gonna try to speed run this.
Now, the reason why I said
I don't have much battery life
is because the only things I brought with me were
a few days worth of clothes, book. I have my phone with 91% battery life and no charger because I forgot it. I have a headlamp, as well as multiple days worth of military grade MREs.
I won't be able to use anything except for these supplies throughout the simulation because in the event that the world is ending, unless I were more prepared, I wouldn't have time to bring anything else.
I'm gonna set you up right. That fell. Basically, we tear this. Then after you tear it, there's a heating pad in here. Apparently you just slide it inside. Then this is the pouch. You put the entire thing in here, like a hot pocket almost. And now we just wait a few minutes and it should be ready to go.
The last step is to fill in the pouch with water and bada bing, bada boom.
It's steaming. Oh, that smells terrible. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, I'm editing this video right now, and apparently you're not supposed to cook MREs inside, and the steam that I just inhaled
Oh, that smells terrible.
is poisonous. Add that to the list of my potential death causes. Anyways, the real question is, how does it taste? Little context, I made the
Spaghetti with beef sauce.
so I'm hoping it tastes good.
Low-key just smells like SpaghettiOs. It doesn't even smell that bad. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, here we go.
I'm doing this for a few reasons. No, not because I want to subject myself to eating MREs for the next 2 days, but because World War III deathly terrifies me, or specifically, however, not being prepared for it. I don't know if most of you know this, but I spent my childhood as a Boy Scout, and the Boy Scout motto is be prepared, which I try to live by. So the fact that my entire preparation for World War III is best summed up by this low-res iPhone photo of this piece of paper that has 7 words on it scares the living shit out of me. So my goal throughout my entire experience here is to take notes on what I could have been better prepared for, so by the end of this video, I can create my doomsday plan. Which, from the delicious meal I just ate, I think I know what the first bullet point is.
Now, if I'm in this nuclear bunker underground, probably for multiple months while World War III is going on, I need to stay fit. I can't be eating the high-calorie MREs. These things are insanely high in calorie and expect to like stay in shape and live a healthy life. That kind of defeats the purpose of staying alive, you know what I mean? So my goal starting right now is to do 10,000 push-ups throughout the next 45 hours, basically.
And while doing push-ups, I had a quite scary realization.
You know, it's kind of worrisome, the fact that once I leave in like 45 hours or however long I have left, there is an actual chance that World War III has started. That's how high of a chance there is for World War III to start.
Bunker Brandon was not lying. There's this thing called a doomsday clock that represents the approximate time before nuclear war. Right now, we are 90 seconds till midnight.
And for nearly 80 years, scientists have indicated how close the world is to global catastrophe using something called
The doomsday clock has remained set at 90 seconds before midnight.
This won't be a regular war. This is not going to be, as I say, army tanks running back and forth, shooting each other. These are weapons of mass destruction, the likes of which nobody's ever seen. I've seen them.
Which is scary because that most likely means the end of the world as we know it. But also why making a doomsday plan is so important. But luckily if that happens, I'm currently safe in this bunker. Now you're probably wondering, Brandon, what is this bunker? Well, I'll let Matthew, who lives in a cement dome, has a dog named Bing, was on American Ninja Warrior, and also the owner of the bunker, explain.
So the Atlas, it could travel over 5,000 miles, pretty much hit any target in the northern hemisphere. This carried a thermonuclear warhead that was over 300 times more powerful than what we dropped on Japan in World War II. So this was a weapon of mass destruction. But really, this was built to be a deterrent to nuclear war. This goes down 176 feet beneath us. Concrete here at the surface is 9 feet thick. You have like 3-inch thick rebar that ties it all together.
Yeah.
Those blast doors are 3 foot thick, 75 tons each.
At least I'll know I'll be protected in case a nuclear missile goes off. But the real question is, for how long? The short answer is not long, but Matthew has a plan.
I mean, the concept is if we're gonna try and get off this planet, go to uninhabitable places like the moon or Mars,
Yeah.
you need to have all your sort of life support systems planned out and put into place.
The life support systems that Matthew is talking about is broken down into 3 main categories: water, food, and air. Right now, this bunker only has enough food, power, air, and water to last a certain amount of time. But Matthew's goal is to make this bunker 100% self-sustaining.
Okay, so this is the bedroom. It's a homey room. What else? Nothing behind there. Being underground, it's weird because like I don't know the time of day. My eyes, I don't know if you can tell, they're literally so bloodshot. Like the change in pressure is giving me a headache almost. I'ma hit the hay and try to sleep some of this off. Good night.
Good night it was, because I literally slept for 15 hours at 3 p.m., as you can probably tell. Add bring nausea medicine to the list.
It's been probably 8 years since I've taken my last nap, and to be honest, 12-year-old Brandon was onto something. I'm gonna go twiddle my thumbs somewhere else. AKA, I'm going back to bed.
I would never do that. I lied, I'm sorry. But now it's hour 22. The first thing I did right when I got up was immediately eat a chocolate chip cookie.
A little snack.
Now, as I eat my cookie 22 hours into World War III, a lot would have already happened on the outside. It's projected that 50 to 100 million people will have already died, as well as the air quality would have already dropped by 50 to 90%. But luckily, that is where Matthew's plan comes into play.
So, hypothetically, right, if, say, Wilson, Kansas gets hit by a nuclear warhead of some sort, the air gets polluted, the air quality drops, how exactly would the bunker be a safe place if it's getting the air from the outside?
So you see these candy canes? Those are your
Right
air
here.
intake and exhaust shafts. That
Okay.
allows fresh air exchange into the bunker. Originally, you had blast valves that would shut and protect against the overpressures of a nuclear explosion.
Okay.
But then you had filters that could filter out chemical, biological, and nuclear contaminants. Then they would create a positive pressure environment. That way no contaminated air could seep its way in. It's always going to be pushing air out, if that makes sense.
Yep, that definitely does make sense. Anyways, I'm definitely not going to eat my entire cookie.
It's actually pretty good. I told myself I wasn't gonna eat all of it, but no one can stop me.
I then crunky dunked the entire cookie, did some push-ups to make myself feel better, then proceeded to have a conversation with myself that really made the simulation feel really real.
Now, the thing about nuclear bunkers that most people don't realize is it's like sheltering you from the outside world.
Just like how today's sponsor Aura can help shield you from potential threats online. Aura is essentially the nuclear bunker of the internet.
Like, I don't know what's happening outside of this thing right now.
But luckily with Aura, I know what's happening to me digitally at all times, as Aura protects my personal information from the digital chaos out there. Plus, with Aura's VPN and password manager, you can stay secure in the virtual world, just like I'm staying secure right here in this bunker.
The entire world could be gone, and I am just sleeping on the bottom bunk of a bed.
My favorite feature about Aura is the fact that it scrapes the dark web to see if any of your information is leaked. Fun fact, Aura literally found the password to this YouTube channel 11 times just chilling on different sectors of the dark web. That probably isn't good, but thanks to Aura, I knew I needed to immediately change my password, that way I don't get hacked.
The thing is, I wanted to do this video because I'm genuinely scared of the direction that the world is heading? Like, should I, as just an average American, start preparing, and like, what are all the things that I need to do in order to survive? I feel like there's just so much going on in the world right now, and there's so many different potential causes to starting a third world war. It's like, I'm not like a doomsday dude, but like, do I need to become one? I don't know.
So to see if any of your personal data is exposed, click the link in my description or head over to Aura.com/BrandonBullich to get your 14-day free trial today. Seriously guys, this is the absolute best way to support the channel and allows me to keep making videos like this. Anyways, back to the video.
I think I'm gonna attempt to do something I have never done in my entire life, and that is read a book called Atomic Habits. I have no idea what it's about. I literally don't even know if I remember how to read, so let's see how this goes. Introduction. My story. On the final day of my sophomore year of high school, I was hit.
After 22 minutes of reading, I quit, did some pull-ups, and now it's finally time to
Take a shower, go to bed. I hope there's hot water though.
I was absolutely flabbergasted that there was water, let alone 3rd-degree burn level boiling hot water. Which brings us to the second life support system, water. But first, after 24 hours of World War III starting, water quality on Earth is projected to drop by 70 to 100%, which is why Matthew's plan is so vital for me to survive.
Even though we live on a water planet, 71% of the surface is water, only 1% of that is drinkable globally. To solve that challenge, what I've done is I've partnered with a company called Hydroloop Systems out of the Netherlands. Their system can recycle between 60 and 80% of your water usage in the home.
So it's all just, the goal is just to be self-sustaining, just below ground too.
Right.
After showering, I aggressively brushed my teeth and headed to the bedroom to sleep.
Okay, I'm about to go to sleep. I'm gonna read a little bit more. Then I will see you guys in the morning.
As I slept, all I could dream about was what the outside world could potentially look like when I leave. I still have a whole day left with no human interaction, no real food, no entertainment, no sunlight, only headaches, strained eyes, cement around me, boredom, and myself. My biggest worry for tomorrow is that when I leave, I could actually be the last person on Earth, because statistically, it's very possible. And now throughout these next 16 hours, I will have no idea if I am or not. The simulation was turning very real very fast, and when I woke up, I completely forgot the cameras were recording and didn't say anything for 2 hours. I just sat, read, worked out, twiddled my thumbs, but finally, like every living thing on the planet, I needed food, which I cooked like an absolute unit, consumed like I was the next star of my 600-pound life. I don't remember doing half of this stuff, and to be honest, this entire footage was 100% Gaussian blurred in my mind. I know that was a long monologue, but it wasn't until 7:36 p.m. the next day that I literally said my first word.
I'm tired of just looking up at security cameras this entire time, so I detached you. We're gonna make some MREs. Okay, there's this protein powder drink. After about 60 seconds of shaking. Ooh, that smells so chocolatey. Only a complete and utter weirdo would finish this entire thing.
I finished the entire thing.
Now, you're probably wondering, Brandon, do you just plan on eating MREs for the rest of your life or for the rest of the war, basically? And no, actually.
Now there's this thing called aquaponics. It's Matthew's plan to grow food fully underground.
Aquaponics is where you take nutrient-rich water from fish and then you flow it into hydroponic grow beds. Now the roots of your plants suck up the nutrients, it filters the water, and the water goes back clean to the fish. It's a closed loop system.
I understood every single word Matthew just said. Definitely not nodding my head up and down to make it look like I know what he's talking about. But sadly, it's not ready yet, so I had to resort to...
I found Matthew's stash of bread. Would it be bad if I took a slice?
Yes, it would, Brandon. That would be an absolutely inappropriate and terrible thing. I am going to starve to death. I am going... I also found Matthew's stash of freeze-dried food in case the world actually does end.
And bro said he's not a doomsday dude like me.
So I have a more brighter approach, not doomsday.
Yeah, not doomsday. Yeah. You are looking at a man that literally owns a doomsday bunker, and not even he is scared.
Hour 43, I finally hit the 10K push-ups goal, and my mood started feeling much brighter. I knew I only had 7 hours left, so I read, did more push-ups, my phone ended up dying, I finished eating my last meal,
Dinner is finally done.
and then slept through the night with tomorrow morning being when I leave. I slept feeling accomplished, tired, and looking forward to seeing some much needed sunlight. With the only stipulation being the rest of the world still existing. You see, throughout my entire time here, I've essentially been facing my fear of what could possibly be. And in an attempt to force some much unneeded character transformation for the ending of this video, if I could leave this place with one thing, it'd be to be like Matthew. Prepared, but not scared. Because even if World War III does start tomorrow, at least now I'll know exactly what to do.
I don't know if I'm ready for this, but 3, 2,